Hello, and welcome back to Connections with Stacey Levine-Lavely. I am so excited. I have a guest here today who is part of mine and Jagger's past. So years and years ago, I sat on the board at the Autism Resource Center at the time. She is now gone from helping out and being an admin to now being the director. Her name is Cariglia, and I am so excited to have her. Back then, her and I worked together on the 10th anniversary gala. We worked on a couple of golf tournaments together, a few recognition award events. I was on the board for 11 years there. So it's just really, really amazing to see her blossom from, inputting into the computer and working on the family waivers with people to now being the top dog in that agency. So welcome, Chris. So nice to have you here today.
Thanks so much, Stacey. It's great to be here. It's great to see you.
I know it's been a long, long time. COVID has knocked us, all over the place, and including your center. I know you've been shut down for a while and then slowly kind of, doing work from home, and now finally being able to move back into the center and be able to serve families of Worcester County again, and just kind of moving into that, I should say, all of Central Mass, really, being able to move back into that more in-person, direct contact thing, which is so important for families with autism. So I'd like to just ask you just to kind of give the people out in our audience a little just background on what the Autism Resource Central is, and how it started, and where we are today.
Sure. Excuse me. So the center was formed just about 25 years ago by a group of parents who came together to kind of form this safe kind of community for families who had loved ones with a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. And so over the past 25 years, we've grown from a very small center that serves the 64 towns that are in Central Mass to a center right now that supports over 4,100 families in those 64 towns. So we've grown quite a bit. The center here provides information and referral for families. We have family activities. We have support groups, closed Facebook chat groups, a library here, lots of ways to connect here, whether it be in person or virtual or a hybrid model. COVID certainly has taught us that we can reach people from a variety of ways. So I think that that's part of what makes the center so special, is that we can connect with families everywhere. So during COVID, we were shut down for quite a while and turned completely to remote. So I should say that, the center is pretty small. So there are currently right now 6 of us here in the center that provide all of the supports and services for our families. And they were fabulous, and were able to just kind of move back into the virtual world and provide the same kind of support. So it is a great place.
Yeah, absolutely. And with autism, consistency is so key. And for those families, especially, like I know for myself, I was going through guardianship during the COVID pandemic, and some of the things that were taken away was the attorney of the day and, things like that. And like just even knowing who to go to and things like that. And I know that your team was out there supporting people, helping them, getting them to the people that they needed to speak to, be able to get, that information, no matter what it was. I mean, I'm just, bringing up one tiny thing. And with autism, it's so spectrum, because it doesn't just end at 18. It doesn't just end at 22. And the word entitlement, it's just, it's such a sharp word when you're dealing with this, because it's not like any kind of real entitlement. Really, at the end of the day, they go into a different realm with less support, less services, and you are still there, which is amazing, to give them some of those social opportunities, still there for the families for support, support and things like that. And that's just such a critical piece. And that's why it's so critical that when you are doing fundraisers and when you're doing things like this, that it's just so important for families to get out, be able to support you, whether it's through sponsorships, whether it's through the actual fundraising with, your families, friends, companies, anything like that, anything you can do to support places like, HMEA's Autism Resource Central is so critical because the services they provide to the individual families, it's not like they're a national organization that's just doing research or what have you. And all those are very, very important to the overall diagnoses. But at the end of the day, the important thing is getting those funds into the hands of the people who are local, to your local families, to your neighbor, to your cousin, to a friend, to yourself, and being able to have opportunities for kids to get out into the community, for adults to get out into the community, for, like you were saying, workshops for parents, any kind of education, support groups. You run a lot of like mommy and me kind of things over at the center with people. You do Lego building, a little bit of everything. So you really hit all those things, and that's so critical. And I just personally want to commend all of you for what you've been through, the struggle you've been through, you taking the directorship on, and Sue has been wonderful through the years, and she led the ship like she was valiant. And I'm really interested to see what your new vision is. I mean, you've now gone through something that she had never experienced, something like COVID, and it has been so bizarre and so different, and not just in your field, but everywhere. So tell me, what are some of your thoughts coming out of this, like how you're going to proceed forward and, blaze your own trail?
So I think one of the biggest focuses I have right now is reestablishing the center in the Worcester community, right? So we had been in West Boylston for quite some time. We've been in this location for 3 years now. 2 of them were during COVID. So I think we're reemerging and reinventing ourselves, right? So we have to learn to live in this new world, and we have to learn to live, learn to shift when we need to shift. And so I think by looking at things through a new lens, right? So how do we reach as many people as we need to reach, right? Some people, the virtual world is the way to go, right? And for some people it's not. And then there's that kind of hybrid model and whatever. So kind of reinventing the center, reestablishing us as the autism center within Worcester County. I think is my primary focus right now, is just kind of bringing us back out there and bringing people in. During COVID, when we were all working remotely, there was a 6-month period where at the time there were 7 of us. When I was gathering some of our data for that 6-month period, just to kind of look at what we had done during that time, the 7 of us had over 50,000 contacts with families in a 6-month period. Those are some big numbers.
Yeah.
So there's a big need out there. And so now, and those families are anxious to get back here and get back to what they're used to, right? So the family activities that we have, coming into the center for a support group, sitting across a table with another parent to talk about, your struggles, and not just your struggles, but your triumphs and your victories, right? But all of that has to reemerge. And so that's really is where we're at right now, is how we open our doors, bring our families back, and, safely, but bring them back. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We've got some in-person things that are coming up in the next couple of months, as well as our virtual things. We do have, we've been very fortunate to receive some grants from some very generous grantors in the Worcester community. St. Gobain has been very generous with us and has funded our robotics and STEM programs here. So we've had a bunch of robotics programs. We're starting some coding groups. We have a 3D printer here. We now have a fully operational kitchen here so that we can start working with individuals on some of those skills, right? Some of those activities of daily living skills, right? Cooking and budgeting and things like that. So really that is my focus, is just kind of re-emerging out into this new world and bringing everyone back so that we can again be that community together in the absence of the virtual world.
Yeah, for sure. And now you did mention that you are at a new location. So what is your new location now?
So we are located at 712 Plantation Street in Worcester.
Okay, great. And how can people get a hold of you?
So families can access any one of us through our website. So our website is www.autismresourcecentral.org. They can find all of our contact information in there. There is a chat feature. If that's easier for families, they can email us directly or find all of our phone contacts there.
Okay, great. Super. Okay, so everybody who's watching on YouTube, which you will get linked even if you're watching somewhere else, it's going to be below us here. We're going to say it a couple more times during this broadcast. We're not done yet, I promise, because Chris has a really exciting thing coming up and I can't wait to talk about it. But I do want to let you know, I just want to make sure that people are able to grab that contact info, because they do run amazing programs and they're always run by people who are really professional, who are really helpful, and they're very, very sensitive to autism, which is the critical piece of it, because a lot of us have gone to different activities, tried to be involved, and a lot of times we're just on the peripheral, and sometimes the leaders just, they want to include us, but they just don't know how. Here, it's hands-on, they know what they're doing, they're familiar with our community, they're familiar with our loved ones, and they're just able to really, delve in and really get the best out of them. So I'm really excited for that, Chris. So I do want to bring up your big endeavor that's coming up this month. Yeah, this month, my God, it's April 1st already.
Yeah.
Just like for a little side note, April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Month. The center and myself also believe it to be acceptance, because most people are aware of autism, but now we're moving into that next phase of acceptance and inclusion. And that's really, really important. Those are the next steps in, bringing autism and people with it full on into communities, into, life. I mean, this is their society as much as ours. And, we need to find a place where all of us are accepted. So without further ado, Chris, can you tell me a little bit about your autism walk?
Sure.
And run?
So April 23rd, we will be at Polar Park in Worcester for our annual Autism Superhero 5K run walk. This is our first time back live and in person since 2019. So we're very excited to be back and bring families back. This is our signature fundraiser of the year. We will be at the park. We will be at the park. Registration will open at 8 for our runners. So there'll be the 5K run walk, which will happen at 10. The course is newly certified for all of our runners out there. It is a certified race course now. That just happened just in the last couple of days. So we're very excited about that.
Nice.
There will be a kids fun run inside the park, vendors, games, giveaways, lots of music. We'll have Jedi training, Captain America training. I hear tell there'll be several superheroes in the park and some Disney princesses as well. It promises to be a fabulous day. We're absolutely thrilled to be at Polar Park. It's such a great opportunity for all of our families to be able to come together. Again, it's our signature fundraiser of the year. So all of the funds that we raise from this event go directly back into the programs that we provide here for families. So all of the activities, all of the workshops, all of that is funded by this particular event.
Now, at the event for the different stations, whether it's like, the Disney princesses or Jedi training or what have you, do you have age limits on that? Or is it just open to, like, when you have the older kids, like if they're 22 and they want to still do Jedi training, is that okay? Or is that
absolutely fine? So the Jedi, there is no age limit for that. The age limit just sits at the kids fun run. So we cut that off at age 12. So it's kids 12 and under can participate in the fun run, which is a smaller event Still has the same, there's medal opportunities and a ceremony, but it's just a shorter event for the little ones. Families can certainly walk the 5K. They can run the 5K. There's no age limit to any of that out there. You know, obviously children under the age of 18 need to be supervised by an adult. So as far as any of the other events, the Jedi training, Captain America, things that are happening within the park, there's no, it's open to everyone.
Okay, great. And at the park, is there food available for people who are coming to participate in the event?
Yep. So part of your registration fee, you will be given a voucher. So that it will be a voucher that you can use at the concession stands within the park. Anything above that, you certainly can purchase more than that, but you will be given a voucher for that. There is an opportunity to access if you have food sensitivities, gluten-free options, things like that. The Polar Park Marketplace will be open. And again, you can use the voucher in there to purchase that any types of food in that you might need. So there'll be food available. There'll also be bananas, water, you know, all kinds of things, power bars, things floating around the park. So there will be food available. There will be snacks available, lots and lots of giveaways all over the park. Right now we have 36 vendors that'll be in the park that day, which is pretty exciting. So it promises to be a great day.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so exciting. Now, if when you say registration, I just want to kind of clarify that for people who are listening who don't know what that means. So can we just delve into that a little bit, what that looks like?
So currently right now, if you wanted to register, you would go to our website and click on the events page. So you'd see there's a drop down. You'll see the 2022 Autism Superhero 5K. You can register on there. So for walkers, the fee is $15 a walker. So anyone 18 and over, it is $15 for walkers. 13 to 18-year-old teens is $10 for walkers, and kids under the age of 12 is $5. Runners is $35 to run.
Okay, great. Now, with the people who are registering to walk or what have you, so are they committed to doing fundraising, or how does that part work? Okay.
So we encourage people to fundraise, but you certainly don't have to. So on the registration site, you would register for the event. And if you choose to fundraise, you can click the fundraising button and set up your fundraising pages so that you can share them with your friends. There is an option to walk in the day of the event. Fees remain the same.
I was going to ask you that.
So
next.
You can certainly walk in that day. There will be a list coming up on our website probably today that has the specifics about that, a list of FAQs, when registration is. Runner registration, runners need to be in the park by 9:30 so that we can get all of their information to the timing truck. So that's pretty much the only real time constraint on the walk itself, is that if you are a runner, you need to be there by 9:30.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. And then how late in the afternoon does it go?
So the event will run till 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds really fun. And I'm glad, because I was actually going to ask you if people just decided they happened to be in Worcester and they saw it going on or something like that, or they heard about it and they might it might be a teacher at a school who wants to come and support, their students or something like that. So, okay, that's great news to know. And then with their registration, do they get a t-shirt? Do they get anything, or do they purchase t-shirts or something like that day out?
So t-shirts are as of the 24th of March. So t-shirts at this point are first come, first serve. Okay. So so there will be t-shirts available until we run out.
Until you run out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there will be t-shirts. There's event bags. So all of our vendors are putting some things in the event bags as well. So
fun.
There'll be materials in there as well.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. So now for people who are interested in are you still looking for any vendors, or is that something that, you've shut down on? And then also, if people just want to like advertise at your event or something, like maybe they don't want to have a table, they just want to do like advertisement. Do you have any of that going on for people?
Excuse me.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, so you can, we are still accepting sponsorships. There is a full list of that on our website as well. People can choose to sponsor any way they like. If they just want to sponsor and just have their information at the event, that is certainly an option. And we'll continue to do that right up until the week of the event. The only difference with our fundraising, with our sponsorship levels right now, is that the opportunity to have your name on the t-shirt has passed. Okay. Because it's already gone to print, but all the other level benefits are still, they're still applicable. It's just that we can't put the name on the t-shirt.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So, and it's great that you already have 36 sponsors, vendors rather. I mean, and sponsors, that's just incredible. And that speaks volumes to the work that you've done. And even though you're trying to reemerge into the Worcester community, it just goes to show how deep your roots were prior to COVID and before the world, turning upside down, which is, just absolutely critical. And I love the fact you've gone from like so many smaller venues. I mean, I remember one of my first one with Jagger, I think he was 2 or 3 years old, and it was at Quinsigamond Community College, and it was pouring down rain, and it just like, it was so fun though. I mean, like I'm going, oh my God, what am I doing? I was volunteering and I was just like, oh my God, what are we doing in the rain? Is anyone really going to show up? And people had the best time. I mean, I think towards the end of the day, I think it finally cleared, but I mean, it was just amazing. And now to be in Polar Park, which is such a huge, huge piece of Worcester's new history, and you're becoming that new history. Do you guys have any kind of connection with Polar Park that you're going to be doing moving forward, or tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So we are actually working with Polar Park right now for their Autism Acceptance Day, which is April 30th at Polar Park. So it will be that game. And so so we will have our participants will participate in the opening ceremonies of that game. So we'll be in the park that day. They have done a great job really looking at how to make this event autism friendly. For those of you who don't know, Polar Park does have a sensory room available should you or any of your loved one need to take a break. So that's super exciting. We are thrilled to be able to have this partnership with WooSox and Polar Park, and hoping that this will continue in the future. But these two events now have will connect together so that it would be just one continuation of another.
That's nice. That's amazing. Now, how do people go about getting tickets for that day if they'd like to attend that the April 30th game?
So if you're a member of our center here, and certainly if you live in any of the 64 towns in Central Mass, you are welcome to become a member here. Any of our members will have access. We do have tickets here available for families. They are also available on the WooSox website. So you can go to the website, click on the day, and purchase single game tickets there.
Okay, now as far as this, where they're supporting autism and things like that, is that throughout the park or is it just in certain sections? So
for the game itself?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're looking at how to make the entire game autism friendly that day. So I think that they so they're doing a really great job. We've had a couple of meetings to talk about that. So I am super excited about it. I think it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's amazing to bring it out here, and really kind of open it up to the Worcester community, because we do have so many families, as you said, I believe over 4,100, which is like an insane amount of number to wrap your head around when you're really thinking about it. I mean, I remember, starting out, and I think you guys only had like 900 families at the time. So it has just grown exponentially. And this is just amazing. And your work that you guys do is so important to the community. communities, and we are so appreciative of it. And I'm going to wrap everything up. So I want to remind everybody that this event that she's talking about, the 5K, which is their big fundraiser signature event for the year, is going to be on Saturday, April 23rd. So please go to their website, which again is Chris.
www.autismresourcecentral.org, and you can register on the event page.
Yep. So if you want to walk, if you want to run, if you just want to join, if you want to sponsor, if you want to be a vendor, anything, just go to that page. I am going to be there. I'm very excited myself because I just started a travel agency called Atypical Travels, and that's going to be to help families with atypical travel needs. So I am so excited to support you myself, so excited to have been a part of your organization for years. And I just wish you all the luck in the world as you move forward into this next venture. And I know you guys are going to be phenomenal. And, you know, go HMEA, Autism Resource Central. Woohoo! Thanks again for joining me, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. And for everyone, just remember to keep creating unity in the community. Have an awesome time. Until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.